Hello from the Dreamport Discord server. I'm Shadows Pup, bringing you Pimp Your Post Thursday. On the show today, we'll share posts, meet others, and have some fun. You can share your own post or someone else's you really like. To take part, drop the PYPT emoji into the show text channel. I'll add you to the list to take a turn sharing posts. When I call on you, add your post link to the text channel. Come on voice to tell us about it. Keep it brief, like a short commercial for the post. If you can't do voice, it's okay. You can share by text, but the text and the link must be ready to paste into the text channel when I call on you. You can have more than one turn, but you must use the emoji for each turn. Okay, let's get started. And I will remind people that the draws are on in the Draws for Show channel, so don't forget to click the emojis on the draws if you want to enter. And we're going to start with Kitty Girl.
Well, I would like to share a post from a new Javian who joined the blockchain only 2 weeks ago today, June the 12th. Midnight's Pen, which I thought was a really cool name for a Hive account. And what she's writing about here is a little vacation that she took recently to a hotel that has a really creepy hallway. I love that picture of that hallway. And it's kind of amazing to me that they don't have carpet on the floor to mute the footsteps at night. But so I guess people just need to be very careful when they come in late. But it's a really cute post and lots of good pictures. I love the view from the balcony looking out over the city at night. It's just wonderful. So, let's welcome Midnight's Pen to the blockchain. She's actually in the voice channel today, just listening, seeing how things work, and then hopefully in another week or so she'll be joining us. But she came through the terminal, and that's why she's here. I dragged her in from the terminal. so,
Good
so welcome
dragon.
to the blockchain, Midnight's Pen. We're glad to have you.
Vane was first to join me this morning too, which was kind of cool. Yeah, some beautiful shots there. Ah, yes, there it is. Nice. All right. Thank you, kitty girl. Looks as though she must have been curated on that. She's got some nice little volts on it, upvolts on it. Good to see.
Oh, I didn't look to see who all of that voted it. that's really that's really awesome.
Sure, go ahead and test.
Hello?
Whoa, we hear that voice.
Very
Serious?
good.
I got it working?
You got it working.
How's the quality?
I would say it's good.
I
Thank you.
agree, loud and clear.
There you go. Finally, eh? And Artemis, you are up.
Well, this is a post from Shadow's Pub, and it's part of her daily echoes, and the word is obscene.
Can we see
I
the
s-
post?
oh oh okay. Sorry, I guess that was
You really enjoyed Vane's post, didn't you?
I did.
Well, since the word
Okay,
is obscene, maybe Artemis censored the post. We can't see it.
I was wondering if I'd need to, and I wondered when I saw the word obscene, my mind went through a lot of things, and I'm like, I wonder what she's going to write. And what was written was something not expected, but really important for today and what's happening in the world. So check it out and give her some love,
Yeah, I
but
wasn't
no
sure.
hugs.
I wasn't sure where that was going to go when I saw the word. My first concern was Midjourney has automated moderation built in, and I thought, I wonder what kind of prompts I'm going to get that won't get past their moderator. But I didn't have any trouble with that. All right. Thank you, Artemis. And Emrys, you're up. All right. Emery says it's quite sad. The more technological innovations humans experience, the more our essence and values diminishes. The world is faced with a new opportunity and threat wrapped in a sugar-coated pill with features so appealing that makes it difficult for humans to resist. Based on my individualistic opinion, it is this in this post I shared some of the advantages and disadvantages of the usage of AI. Check it out. You might learn something new. Nice picture though. Did you make it in AI? That would be one of the advantages. Ah, I made it in Canva. But Canva has AI built into it. Do you use that part or not? Yeah, okay.
It has AI built into it in the free version.
My understanding is some of the features in the free version allow you to use AI. Artemis, do you use it more than I do?
Canva? Oh, actually, I haven't used it in quite some time.
Oh, okay. AI is in a lot of stuff now. And bipolar, you're up. Good to see you, Abinad. A lot of people
Hello,
like
everyone.
go for it bipolar.
Good evening. Okay, so I talked about the prompt is history. Like basically, the purpose of history is so we can learn from past mistakes and not repeat it. Unfortunately, that's not what we see every day all over the world. People tend to read history to repeat exactly what went down in history. So I talked about the Nigerian problem. I talked about the civil war we had. I talked about how the Easterners were worse hit and how funny it is that currently they're agitating for war, because it's quite funny if you people cry about genocide in 1967 and now you still want to go back to that experience. So basically, I believe it doesn't have to end in war, because from experience I've seen that people go to war, they fight, and then they go back to the negotiation table. So why don't you guys just fix it at the negotiation table? Why do you have to go to war? So I just shared my thoughts, and I dabbled a little to the politics and elections and everything. So that's all.
It does seem like the more progressive we become, the less ability we have to stop fighting.
I really don't know why people fight, because it is senseless. You guys, people can just sit and talk. Like, dialogue is not hard. You can just sit and say, okay, this is what you're doing I don't like. Let's compromise. They don't have to kill themselves. They don't have to destroy properties, destroy lives, and end up rebuilding it and destroying it again, rebuilding and destroying it. It's an endless cycle of annoyance.
So Emrys says conflict's an instrument of change. It's like a show of who's boss.
Yeah, they're just trying to like boost their ego at the expense of the poor masses. It's quite unfortunate. I don't know why it seems the masses don't have say as to their leaders going to war. I don't know, I might be wrong, but can the masses not say no, we are not going to fight, or we are not going to be a part of this war, and the leaders not do it? Don't they have that power, or that right, or that say, or they're just ignorant?
Well, I think there's a new, one would think that the more we understand human nature, that we'd learn to be able to show that we're boss through interactions and maybe even economic levers. But it's amazing how often people turn to violence.
Yeah, quite unfortunate. They
And
always
some
want to flex muscle.
and sometimes it begs the question, do we really have to show ourselves to be boss or just respect each other?
Yeah, exactly. Like if we could just respect each other, I think that should be better. But I don't know, human. There's just this inherent violence in most people, and I think it comes with power too, because they say absolute power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. So I'm guessing there is something that comes with power that just builds up the violence in us, and people are just looking for who to oppress and show, oh, I am bigger than you and I can do whatever I want with you.
So remembrance time, I used to go into the schools, or we would bring the schools into us. Either way, I would do presentations to the children, school children. And one of the things I always tried to impress on them that as they grew up, they needed to be careful about who they elected and be watchful of who they elect and what they do, because it's those we elect that create wars, and it's them that will have to fight it.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, if that, like I see Zelensky jumping from one country to another, one president to another, looking for support, why is he not in his country fighting war? Like your country, they're dying, you are going outside to fill the wall in your country. So why are you not there? Why are you not at the forefront? You see, these leaders, they are never at the forefront. Their families are never at the forefront. They're safely tucked away in another country, safe and sound, why they are busy saying, oh, I'm fighting for the dignity of my nation. You're not fighting for any dignity. You're fighting for your own ego. That's just it.
Yeah, that's a lot of it. So Emmer says, who are the masses? They are people with different opinions. The word masses is generalization. Doesn't have effect in creating singular opinion to oppose the oppressors. Well, it depends on the situation that you're in. Where you're in a country where there is freedom to assemble and to protest, those masses can speak through their assembly. But if you're in a country that
Yeah,
does not allow freedom of assembly, yeah, there is no singular opinion.
but funny how during election in my country, you see these leaders go back to the grassroots. Like they come all the way from different parts of the world that they've been staying all these years, and then they go back to their village that they don't develop, and then they gather these same masses together that are not supposed to have one voice, and are able to use them to rig election. So I don't. It poses a question like, okay, if they can gather these people to rig election, like, is it that these people they can't like think on their own? Do they have to be like, I don't know how to put it. It's just like, okay, during election, these leaders come back, despite not doing anything, and then they just come to flash few monies to the people, and then they gather them to rig election. And after election, they're going back to their base to not do anything. And then the masses just be like sitting dogs, like they don't know what to do, like they're confused. But you guys helped them rig election. How are you guys not having that same momentum or idea to like, okay, since you didn't do anything for us, we are not going to help you this time around? So it's just I think it has to do with the will. I'll say the people don't really have the will. They're just looking for somebody to lead them,
Mm-hmm.
sort of,
Well, with or
in
without
their
rigging
own.
elections, politicians the world over are really good at crawling out from under their rocks at election time.
Exactly.
Emma
Yeah,
says
only.
Emma says the villages consist of uneducated voters. It's only educated voters that can make informed choices. Yeah, and unfortunately, from what I've seen, even some of those educated voters don't make well informed choices.
Yeah, I think there are the problems too because it's these educated voters that still help the politicians to convince the uneducated voters to make um uninformed choices.
Sometimes those
So
uneducated voters are paying more attention to what's going on around them than the ones with the education. It's kind of interesting to watch when it happens.
but I think the uneducated voters, they are just like anywhere the wind blows, whatever you tell them they're going to do. So people like capitalize on their ignorance. But then you see the ones that are educated, I think those ones are the problem because they're just being selfish. So I wouldn't really force the uneducated ones because they're ignorant. So you that you are aware, but you still choose to take advantage of people's ignorance, I think the problem comes from those people.
Abinant says, and people vote according to what they'll get from these politicians, whether educated or not. You're very true, which is why politicians make promises. If it
Yeah,
connects with
yeah,
you and
very
you
true.
think you're going to gain something, you'll vote for them.
It's all about business. Everybody just wants to gain. Nobody wants to lose.
You know, it's funny. We're in different parts of the world. We have lots of things different in our lives, but it's amazing the stuff that's the same.
And it's basically has to do with our politics. Like
Yep,
politicians are the same everywhere in the world,
pretty much.
just same Joe minor differences. I think that's the best word to use.
All right. Thank you, Bipolar.
You're
And
welcome.
Q, better known as Abdul Kudas. You're up. Bipolar for president. Got out the world.
Okay,
Oh,
good day everyone. So let me start off by saying bipolar. I don't know why you took off my shine. So she shared almost everything I wanted to discuss about. So I don't even know where to even start from or where to end my discussion. But actually, this is a post made by Naji. So it's also the same as the prompt bipolar shared our topic on, and then it's about history. So actually is let me just cut it brief. So she made a point about how her country survived the corrupt politicians in the past, and I think this happened last year. So she said December 7th last year in Ghana. So they were able to overcome those corrupt politicians, and now I think they are seeing the changes. So in their decision, so like they've come away from the past, and now they're having a good uh, time now. So compared to here in our country, I think we are not fully ready to make that changes. Like the way bipolar have said, like these politicians, they are ready to just turn the mind of the citizens, and we are just following with the tide. So we are not ready to make critical decision. And another thing I see about it is that we lack unity. So there's no unity among us. So once there's unity, I don't think those on top, they are minority and we are the majority. So unity is one of our key weapon that we can use to go against them and vote for who we feel like can or who is capable to do the job. Thank you.
and Abdul Kudas continues the theme. And yes, you're
Yeah,
right. When people do not come together in a strong voice, the government gets away with doing what they want to do.
yeah.
It's unity
You
that
don't have a
matters.
choice. Yes, that's it. So bipolar, thank you for taking my shine. Understand? I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
You understand now, right, bipolar?
Yeah, I do, loud and clear.
Well done. Thank you,
All right,
Abdulkudus.
thank you. Yeah.
Artemis, you're up.
That was quick. So I'm a birder. I love birding, but I live in Ontario, Canada, and I've always been curious about birds around the world, especially in hotter countries because they have really bright colors. But these birds are from South Africa. So some of you are probably familiar with them, but I found them fascinating, especially one called, let's see, the red-faced mouthbird. Oh no, not that one. The southern double-colored sunbird, because here in Ontario, Canada, and probably down where Kitty Girl is, we have a ruby-throated hummingbird that has this very similar coloring. I just thought that was really interesting. So this is a lovely post. Go through and give the author some love.
This is very similar. I wonder what the size of the bird is in comparison to the,
Well,
the hummingbird.
I'm not familiar with that greenery that it's sitting on, but if I had to guess, I'm thinking maybe a sparrow. Does anyone else know?
Yeah, kind of in proportion, it looks like it'd be around the size of a sparrow, which makes it bigger than the hummingbird.
Mm-hmm.
Still very pretty, though.
A bird wearing a wig. That's funny.
Red-headed woodpecker. I'm kind of partial to blue jays and cardinals. Yeah,
I do
hummingbirds
love
are
those.
tiny.
We have a bird that's really common in North America called the grackle, and it has a really green sheen to around its head. It's just a really common bird, and people don't really pay much attention to it. And I found out when I was kayaking that it actually fishes. I couldn't
Oh,
believe
really?
it. It'll go up and down the edge of the river, and it'll all of a sudden dive down and grab out little minnows. They're interesting.
Sounds like it. I like Baltimore Orioles as well. You don't see them very often these days.
Actually, I've got a Baltimore Oriole here near my building that 2 or 3 times a day I see it. Someone must have a feeder, either a hummingbird feeder or have some oranges or maybe a little jelly out. And the bird will go across and it'll be gone for a few minutes and it'll go right back to the trees along the river. It's beautiful.
Ah, nice. Q, you've got a hot mic there. If you'd mute, please. Abdul Kudus. There we go. Thank you. All right. There's Rochelle has shown up. She's not in the voice channel yet, but she's in the text. That's okay. That happens. And next up is Emery's. And oh, one of my AI just popped up in front of me. That's rather ironic that it did that just as Emery's was presenting. Have you ever felt that science and technology is doing too much? There are things that exist on Earth that are better to be left alone in their natural state without the involvement of humans. It is okay to explore the unknown. After all, the more we know, the more knowledgeable the human race becomes, but the unknown should be understood, not altered. In the past, I shared my concerns about some areas of scientific intervention that demands limitations and boundaries. So, is this you sharing that some more of it, Emrys? Because I noticed you said in the past you'd shared it. You said in the past you've shared your concerns about some areas of scientific interventions that demand limitations and boundaries. Is this post sharing some more concerns? Ah, it is post, not past. Okay, in the post, he's sharing his concerns. Glad I asked the question. All right, check it out. See what you if you agree with him or not, and if you do or not, drop him a comment. Let him know. Thank you, Emrys. Artemis, you've got the hot mic now. Abadad, you're up.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
My link is here. My link is here.
It's
Hi
coming.
everyone. So um I'm sharing this post I wrote yesterday, and it's about the two things in my life that I don't negotiate when it comes to them. And I realized that they are all pertaining to my health. And I also realized again that there are things I learned the hard way. I don't know what your non negotiables are, but you should check out mine. Thank you.
I like your title for it. My sacredibles. Like, don't mess with this.
Exactly.
Why do I get the feeling that some of her sacredibles might be food based? Or is that a red herring? Nice picks there. All right. Thank you, Abinant. And Kitty Girl, you're up.
Well, it's a shame Solo Miner didn't stick around because he might have actually had a little something to add about this post. This is a post of tips that he's sharing for Hive authors. And some of them are very simple, but they're things that we may not think about, like wiping off our camera lens before we make a picture. And he said sometimes when he is out working, um, he gets, sweat or something on his camera lens and he forgets to wipe it sometimes. So, yeah, he's just sharing some good tips for people. And at the bottom of the post, he said, and you notice this post is titled Five More Tips for Hive Authors. At the bottom of the post, there is a link to a previous post he wrote with more tips in them. So if everybody could just kind of scan those and file them in the back of your mind, you'll have better Hive posts.
Beware of KE ratio. Reply to comments. Use creative titling. And don't overdo the post footer.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people overdoing the post footers. They create a standard signature at their post in a template or something. And then even if they write a tiny post of 200 words, 300 words, they've still got all that real estate down at the bottom that's just outlandish.
Yeah. Actually, I've got that I don't even put a footer on post most of the time. And I never put them on the um, Daily Echo because they're just too short. But even when I write other posts, I've got that I don't even use them. All right. Thank you, Kitty Girl. Abdul Kudish, you're back. And James says, how could you sweat on a lens? Which end is he looking in? And we have too too many on um have you I forgot what HHYM. Hey, have you met? See, I got there.
Okay, can I speak now?
All right, Abdul, tell us about this.
Okay. So this is a post I made in response of the Hype Niger community. So the prompt was all about if I add additional 12 hours to my day. So will it be that productive for me? What will I get to use the 12 hours for? So now I have made my response in the post, so you can just go check it out. I won't tell you what I'm using the 12 hours for. Thank you.
All right, and the rooster joined in on presenting that today. Active little guy, isn't he? Thank you, Abdul. That was cute. Luchelle, you're up. Yes, he does want to pimp his post. Might be a little hard to understand him though. Ooh, we got some draws are up. Emrys has won the 1 HBI and Luchelle has won the 3 HBI. And Luchelle is presenting.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oops, it's cold here. I'm actually in the village,
It's
and I'm
cold.
enjoying the. It's cold, yes. The weather is cold here, and I'm actually in the village. I'm enjoying. I'm seated outside, enjoying the village scenery, the birds, the greenery, and everything. I'm loving it.
Can you define cold for us, please?
Oof. Anything, just slight rain, and I'm cold. That's it. I don't like cold. I don't like cold. I prefer warm atmosphere.
So are you telling me it's like only 80 there or something like that?
No, it's just small cold like that, but I'm already feeling it.
Hey, and Abdul has just informed us the rooster's been quiet since it mouthed off while he was presenting. He was just helping you out, Abdul. Go for it, Luchelle.
Okay, all right. The post is by Becky Royal. It's something I really needed to go read the post because you will laugh out your you will laugh out loud. But be sure you're alone so that people won't think you are something is wrong, please. Because it's a hilarious post, like imagining animals talk and you happen to hear them talking about you, like would I say gossip about you. Wow. Guys, you really need to read this post. That's all I can say. Thank you.
So, one of the YouTube channels that I follow is a guy that teaches his cat
Mm,
how to use buttons
mm,
that have been programmed with words. And he can
okay.
speak to a point, and it's funny as hell at times. In fact, I watched a clip the other day. Um, the dad had passed wind, and Todd the cat had been laying down in the room across the room, and he got up and walked over and he pressed the button that was programmed to say smell. I think he noticed the passing wind.
Mm.
All right, and Kelvin, you are up.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. So this is an iPlaner's post. I wrote it yesterday, and it just reminded me of how history might be repeating itself in Nigeria. I was thinking about quite a number of things that has happened in history, and in the history of the country, And I just remember not too recently where we had, um, should I say, one of the first protests of this generation. I think it went viral because it was protest that really shook the nation, and the end was not really what we expected. Considering the things that are happening in Nigeria, I fear such protests might come up again, and it's not a good thing. It's not something we like, but with the things happening, it might be something we cannot avoid. So you can just read through the post and see everything I wrote about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Calvin. Um, yeah, I remember the SARS demonstrations. There were people here in Dreamport that were either near to it or involved in it, and yeah, that was pretty scary time.
Yeah. I was even among the protesters then. It was not funny at all.
No, but when governments don't learn, eventually it comes back around. The the population
Yes,
gets brave enough.
obviously. Just
Yeah.
that they might casualties at the end of the day.
And IBB Tammy has joined us. Thank you, Calvin. And Emrys, you're up. Bipolar says the government is actively bribing its way to avoid any impending crisis. That'll only go so far. And Emrys says in every activity that demands humans' participation, it's very important to understand how humans' natural traits affects the turnout of the event. In this post, I analyze some common traits among humans that can influence the purpose of simple events such as competitions and how to keep it under control. Nice pick there. The toxic trait of humans in competition. All right. It's interesting people who have a competitive streak, and there are some people that everything becomes a competition for them. And Amy, you are up. Amy, are you with us? Ah, there she is. All right, Amy, tell us about this.
Okay, hi everyone.
Hey, Amy.
So, um, okay, I made a post I think 5 days ago or thereabouts concerning the Air Indian plane crash. I'm someone who likes around me, and I think I relate well with writing things that resonate with my soul. So then I thought about it. There was a woman who actually missed that flight that day because of traffic. She was stuck in traffic and she got to the airport 10 minutes late. And then she was denied access to the plane. And I know that she will be thinking that she has lost a lot of money and all of that, but she didn't know that that disappointment was a blessing in disguise. So sometimes we too, we get disappointed and we don't see the bigger picture. So I wrote a post about it, that what if our disappointments are blessings in disguise? So you can go check the post out. I think you'll find it inspiring. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm betting that she kind of went, wow, I lost some money but saved my life. It's interesting the close calls that some people end up having. Thank you, Amy. There's, we've got a fascination with the rooster here in the in the chat. Luchelle, you're up. And Artemis, you won the 5 HBI again.
Wow. Thank you.
Now's a good
Is
time
my
to.
link up?
Yes, your link is up, and now's a good time to drop some more emojis, everyone. All right,
All
Luchelle,
right.
tell us about this tasty
Since
looking food.
since Abinad started with food, I thought maybe we could bring up another food post. Okay. I don't know how many of you have eaten afang soup, the popular afang soup, not the afang soup of Ghanaian, like Abinad will now say that Ghana rice, jollof rice is sweeter than Niger jollof rice. I don't know who told them that, but that's by the way. So over the weekend, I prepared a tasty afang soup, and let me give you a tip. You really need to read this post. If you don't know how to prepare afang soup, please go read the post. It's simplified, like a very simple procedure to prepare afang soup. That's all I can say about the post. Thank you.
So it's very simple if you can actually have afang leaves in your area, right?
Yes, even where you are, if you check African markets, you
Mm-hmm.
will find afang. Yes, you will find them in shopping malls. They are there. You find them. You also find the other vegetable water leaf. You find everything you need to prepare afang soup. I'm sure about that.
Yeah,
So far, Nigerians are will find everything you need.
if I wanted to travel 100 miles into Toronto, I could probably find it. But it looks tasty though. Stockfish, dry fish, cow skin.
Very yummy. Everything.
It does look tasty.
It is. It was rather because I finished it. I've devoured everything.
Well, if you still had it around, I would be kind of wondering whether it was tasty or not. But okay, you finished it, so it had to be good.
Mm.
Nice. Thank you, Luchelle. Abdul Kuda says that it looks like waterleaf soup with a different name. No comment. And Luchelle's answering in text. Kitty girl, you're up.
Yeah, I had a problem with connectivity a while ago. I was I was having trouble hearing people in chat, so I dropped out of voice to come back in, and then my internet just went haywire, so I had to reboot things.
Oh,
I
God.
think I got caught up on the pimp tokens. If I missed anybody, please let me know.
Isn't technology grand?
Yeah, when it works, it's wonderful, but gosh, when it messes up, it's the pits. Well, I had intended to share this post even before Graybeard, aka James Russell, appeared in the voice channel today, but it's very appropriate that I'm sharing it since he is here. um, hey, have you met? It's a project that's been on chain since 2018, started by Ren, who was welcoming new people on her cross county travelers. Um, account and then realized that we needed a place for people to come and learn about Hive and the etiquette and workings of the blockchain. So that's when the terminal started. And shortly before that, she created the Hey, Have You Met account. And it's currently being run by Graybeard, James Russell. He had some help on it for a while, but they've kind of abandoned ship and he's doing it all by himself. It's a huge effort because what he does is every day he looks at the introduce yourself posts, and he doesn't just feature everybody who does a post, he vets them. He looks at the account to make sure that they're putting a little bit of effort into their posts. He also does some research behind the scenes to make sure that they're not a scammer who was blacklisted and is coming back under a new name. He does a lot of checking in the background. He also does not feature posts that are using the introduce yourself tag if they have a lot of rewards coming in. He's trying to catch the underused or under rewarded posts and feature them to give them some traction on the platform. And I think it's a wonderful initiative, and I really applaud James's work in continuing this on the blockchain. And it would really help if people would look at the Hey, Have You Met post every day, maybe give him an upvote so he can get some rewards coming in. There for a while, we had a couple of orcas and whales that were giving some support to the post, but here lately it's slacked off so much, it's pathetic. It's hard to grow the account. And if people could even reblog, the posts, it would help to get more visibility. And then go into the post, read about the newbies, and maybe give one or two of them some upvotes and encouraging comments. It would help for retention on the platform if we could do that. So
Yeah, this is a good project to get behind. And if you're looking for new people, not only the post itself, go and look at the tag.
yeah, and I'm probably rambling a little bit here about it because I kind of had what I was going to say in mind, and then the internet the connectivity issue got me all muddled.
I think you did just fine.
But yeah, James puts so much work into this every day. It's just, and even days he doesn't write a post, he's out there looking at the introduce yourself posts and calling through them. And so he rarely takes a day off. It's really, really wonderful how he's doing this. And I admire his persistence with it and his dedication.
How long has he been at that now? It's a few years now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Ren was doing it back in 2018, and I think it was about or shortly before the terminal launched that she brought in James and had two or three other people working with him. And then I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, uh, is when the last person bailed on him. So he's been doing it by himself since then.
May 2019. And what is Ren doing these days?
Well, she's still online on Discord, and but she's spending most of her time on Twitch now. And I think the doing the Hive post was just a little bit too intense for her.
Mm-hmm.
She went through some life changes, health issues, and moving and taking care of her mom and blah blah blah, and it just it got to be too much for her. So she just kind of decided to, since we were still rolling with the terminal and Hey, Have You Met and everything, she decided to just let us run it, and she just kind of took a back seat. I think she's like in the trunk now. Not the back seat, but she's moved to the trunk.
Move to the trunk.
But yeah, if you message her on Discord, she'll respond. But she's just not doing much on Hive these days. But maybe one day she'll be back. Ooh.
So, as of yesterday, bookings were made, and there will be a visitor here in my area from the 1st to the 4th of September. I think you guys might know her. Her name is Dreamsteam. So I have company coming in September. All right. Wait, what?
Is she going to be there multiple days? I hope, to 2 or 3 days, not just
um,
one day.
it'll be a couple days. She's got a place booked over in the next town. Yes, she is.
Yeah, just coming in for one day and then leaving, that's not much time, but I'm glad she's staying a couple of days.
Well, this has been kind of in the works since the beginning of the year, but it was yesterday that we had a conversation and she booked the rest of it.
I just hope you're ready for her energy because I can tell she would be one heck of a person to hang with in real life.
It's gonna get interesting. Artemis, you're in a roll today. You won the NFT. We've talked about me
Oh,
before.
wow.
Hoping some of it was nice. That's an ominous line to come out with, James. And what we don't know for sure yet, if Blue is going to be involved. It's classified by the National Security Act. Okay, that works. And Luchelle, you are up. There's Encam has joined us and Sakura.
Oh, hello. I
I
was
hear you.
thinking, I was thinking I was gonna be the last man, no, the last woman standing. But that's okay.
Well,
So,
you are at the moment, unless some other emojis get dropped.
all right. Okay, about the post, it's actually a reflection, a post I made in the reflection contest and the shadow hunters community. But before that, I while we were growing up, we were fed with these scary stories about how red candles means is ominous. It's used for fetish practices and everything. So we got scared of red candles, green candles, all those any other candle apart from the white candle. But while growing up, no, when I got of age, I now found out that red candle is just like every other candle, and you can use it anytime you want. It has so many connotations, it has so many meanings, and it represents so many things. So, what's the heck about red candle being this and that? So, that's by the way. But I just want to ask a question. When you see red candles, what do you think? Like, what does red candle mean to you? That's just about the post. I'm sure you love the candles. I'm sure you love the reflection that the candle, casted on the environment. It's actually I was doing like trying to would I say trying to be I was just experimenting on reflection and everything. And I'm glad I was able to get something beautiful. Thank you.
Very nice. Red is an interesting color, isn't it?
Of course, it is a beautiful color.
I like that. Of
Though
course it is.
it's not my favorite color. No, it's not my favorite, but it's just beautiful.
It can be used rather effectively, and other times it can be overused.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've noticed that in some of the mood boards that I can create in Midjourney. There's some of them that are very strong on the red, and others have just got little subtle amounts of it. All right. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to share today? Doesn't look like it. How about you, Encam? Did you have something you'd like to share today? Emery's Maritas. All right. You've been listening to Shadows Pub host, Pimp Your Post Thursday. Thank you for joining us on PYPT. Join us next Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Until then, keep on creating, and it's all about community. Oh, almost forgot. Bye, Wilma.